Hey everybody, JMac again. We are going to jump right in today. Again, trying to get these streams down to 20 minutes. So let's go. All right, yesterday we had this fixed date format thing. We basically diagnosed the problem and we wrote a failing test. So let's just kind of see this test failing. I think if I hit up arrow enough, there we go. We should see it again. So basically we're getting a mockery exception because the expected output for our date controller test in PHP unit should look like this. And what we see here, different from before, are these pieces. Now when we are building up this fake data using Faker for these date objects or date times or whatever, we're going to parse that out. And then more importantly, when we send that across the wire, we're going to need to make sure to format that correctly. So I think we got it right yesterday when we did it in the update. Yeah, down here, we've got the parse and then we call toDate. These are Carbon methods. And then finally, we want to make sure that timestamp is on the assertion because we're casting published at as a timestamp. So a lot of nuance here. We set up a test case that hopefully hits all the different examples, but if not, very easy to PR and kind of adjust this. So let's see if we can get the output to look like this in the next 15-20 minutes. All right, so let's get back over here. Hey Samuel, how's it going? Thanks for joining live. So this PHP unit test generator is really where kind of everything happens. And if I really just quickly do a search for like Faker arrow, here is really probably what's going on. And there's actually two instances of this. Okay, so there's two places where this happens. But here's where we're doing that assignment. And this is good, but it's not that easy. I think it's not that easy for our situation. We're now adding some complexity to say, okay, if you are, a date, any kind of date or timestamp, we probably want a carbon, excuse me, carbon parse. Let me get a drink here. So again, we got a failing test. Let's just go in here and try to get this passing. So what do we have at this point? We have a local model column and we have the column itself. Great. Okay, so what we could do maybe is like I don't know, I haven't worked on Blueprint in a while, but what I'm expecting is, we got this local column here. Is this like is date maybe? That would be really cool if there was something like that. So if it's a date, we would kind of do, and then else, we don't want to break the current code. So if it is a date, here we would just simply wrap carbon, parse, and it's kind of that simple, right? More or less. Faker data, column name, local model column. What are we doing here? Sorry, chat box is in the way. Data type. Okay, data type. It'd be nice. Can we click into that? No, we can't. Model for context column. Here we go. Columns. Why isn't there a return type here? Be cool if that said column. Let's get down in here. Data type, name, data type, attributes, modifiers, is foreign key. I'm just trying to see if there's like a is date in here. Unfortunately, there is not. I don't want to litter that in my code everywhere, so I think I am going to put it here. Let's do this. So let's just do column is date. And I think for now, we'll simply say in array, we can say this data type. And the array is going to be like date. There's more. Date time, timestamp. There's probably like the TZ stuff too. So there's probably like a TZ here. I don't know those off the top of my head, so let's just do these for now. Let's see if this explodes, right? We got a test. All right, so if we scroll up, oh, we're not, This is the one thing I don't like about Mockery. This might be something for another day, but I wish Mockery was a little more like PHP Unit and it said, got this, expected this. Right now I'm just seeing what's expected and it doesn't really help me see what it's like outputting currently. So let me go back to our generator and where we return stub, return, if I spelled return right. Let's just echo this out so we can kind of see what's going on here. Echo stub, not this, stub, there we go. All right, if we scroll up, let's kind of see if we're closer. Nope. Nope. Okay, so it's not doing what we think. Let's go back down to our isDate. Oh, did we not? Maybe I changed that code when I wasn't looking. Oh, data type. Okay, sorry. So isDate. There we go. Let's scroll back up. Stores saves. Okay, I would expect these to be the carbon parse, but they're not. So let's get in here, and I'm just gonna dd, or well, let's var dump local column data type. Maybe these are cased or something a certain way. Let's find out. It's a lot of noise. I might throw in a dd here instead. Okay, it's like it's not even getting in that local column path. That's strange. I did notice that there were two faker things here. Okay, so if not null local column and the local model, oh sorry, if not null local model and the local model has the specific column, then do the stuff. Okay. Else if not as no local model. Yeah, there's kind of two paths for this. Let's maybe I'm getting to this other path. I don't quite understand that right now. That could definitely look better. Let's cut that out. Is that called faker? Yeah, it's called faker. I don't know why that's suddenly, there we go. All right, let's try this again. Here we go. var dump date. Now we got a different error. Undefined array key date. Okay. So we got in here with date. Let's see if we get in, whoops. Let's see if we get in here with this var dump. Okay, we moved the var dump in. So isDate is working, I think. Now the problem is a little bit more on the side of what are we doing in here that's wrong. Carbon parse. Why is this undefined array key date? Model 181. What did I break here? Undefined array key date. Am I passing this the wrong thing? What is this? Data. Faker data. Local column name. Or undefined array key date. Where am I passing this thing date? Let's go back up the line. 258. 258 is here. So something's wrong with this line. All I did was add carbon parse. How did I break it? Undefined array. So local column name. Local column model column. Where's column set? Column set way up here. That's not it. The data type's date. There's no... Oh, hold on. Maybe this uses a different... I think this probably uses a different variable. I copy-pasted this. What did I paste it from? Local column name, local column name, local column. Everything else seems correct. Oh, local column name, not data. There we go. That's the problem. Ah. Local column name. Good old copy paste bug there. All right. I think that should get us farther. Nope, just kidding. Did I still not get that right? Local column name, local column name, local column data type. Local column name, oh, maybe column's not right. What is this? Faker data. Faker data just uses the local column data type directly. That's part of it. There we go. Did that paste in correctly? Maybe? Pasted in a lot. All right, let's look at this one more time because that feels, something feels off there. I don't know why PHP Storm's being so weird with that. Local column data type. There we go. All right. 5th time's a charm. There we go. Okay, let's see if we're getting the wrapping now, and we are. Good. Okay, we're getting the wrapping in the right spot now. So we're partly there. The next part is we need to format these going across the wire. So that is here where we would say here before we send in the request data. Our faker data is good, but our request data needs to change now. So what we would say here is if, same thing, that's why I wanted to make this date thing because I knew we were going to use it a bunch. And again, I can always refactor this off stream, but what really, just for now, these if-else statements, keep it simple. Here, we would call to, well, can't do it that way. We would call to date, or date string actually, and then one of them would be date time. So we have kind of a if within an if. That's kind of ugly, but let's just keep going here. So we'll say if local column data type is equal to date, then this, else this, oh sorry, there we go, date string. Okay, so if it's date, then it's just a date string. Otherwise, it's always going to be date time string. Let's see if this pushes us a little closer. Good, born at to date string. Okay, this is, oh wait, sorry, that's mockery. Let's keep going. Okay, we're not getting an update here correctly. Is it up here? So still off. Let me make sure we did this right. If local column is a date, okay, let's get rid of this var dump. If local column's a date, if it's strictly a date, then we would want to append date string. Otherwise, it's this, and we copied from within this loop this time, so hopefully that isn't the problem. Let's make sure we're getting in here. Var dump. Let's use something a little nicer like name so we can see what's happening. I should pipe this to more. Okay, we're getting in there with born at, published at, born at, and published at. Seems like we're missing a date here. Okay, there we go. To date string. So expires at is not getting hit correctly. I wonder where expires at comes from. That might be kind of that other loop where we were getting into that issue. Ooh, that's interesting. Where born at, to date time. I didn't realize it used, it looks like Blueprint uses those in the where clause, which is kind of, I don't think that matters. No, it would matter. I don't think we want to do it there, which unfortunately means, ew, that's gross. I didn't realize it did it there. It's kind of using that request data in more places than I thought. So it is sending across here now. And down here, it's calling to date time string on. See, we don't want it to do, It's using this request data like in a lot of different spots, and we kind of don't want it to. Eek. That's not what we want. How can we... We're going to have to isolate that. Let's focus on the expires at first. Where's expires at coming from? Is that in this model? I don't remember that. No, we have expires at, date time. All right, let's understand these two different loops. I think that's what's going on here. So if local model is not null and local model has the column, let's just dump this out. We'll say var dump. I'm assuming it's getting in here with expires at. Let's pipe this to more. It doesn't seem to be getting in there with expires at. Where is expires at coming from? Is it like cached somehow? It's very strange. If is null, local model columns is local column. Let's put this here too. Oh, maybe it's like bailing? No, it shouldn't be null. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. ID born at, expires at. Did I leave that other var dump? I think I left both var dumps. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. Let's do an echo. Has column is the difference here. And let's PHP EOL that just so we don't have a bunch of noise. Good old poor man's debugging down here. Let's get rid of this one. I don't care about that anymore. And let's get into loop here. All right, let's see what's going on. Okay, in the loop, we're getting expires at. So why is expires at not getting down here? Generate reference factory. Is it a factory? Why wouldn't local column be getting in date? Var dump. This is where like a step debugger is really what you want. That more is throwing me off. Okay. It's claiming it's getting in there with expires at. So why is expires at not a date? Or did I just make that up? No, see, it's looping on expires at, but it's not, we're not seeing the var dump for expires at. So it's thinking that var dump is not, or sorry, it's thinking that expires at is not a date. So let's move this up one more time and let's get the data type. Maybe something's weird about that thing's data type. Oh, there you go. See, I didn't know if these were cased or not. Let's go. Let's get in there and check that. Oh, come on. PHP Storm, you're killing me. All right, str2 lower. There we go. Okay. Expires at date time. There we go. Thank you. All right, cool. It is a date. We're just going to have to remember that. All right, let's get rid of all these var dumps now. All right, and let's get rid of all those echoes. See ya. Where else are you? Keep that one. Okay, I think now the issue is going to be, we should be creating them correctly. If we look at save, all of the carbon parsing is happening correctly. And we're sending it now on the request correctly. But the problem now is that request data is actually used in more places. It's used as part of the query and it's used in the assertion. And we actually don't want that. So let's go see where this query generator is kind of happening. All right, what time are we? Got a few more minutes. I'm gonna go 5 more minutes. Let's see if we can figure out this generator real quick. So query. Query pulls that, plural model, where, indent, column, datum. Someone got fancy. Okay, so it is pulling in through request data. Trying to think about this. My understanding of Eloquent is that it's going to use the casted attribute in the query. It's just going to get it right. Because I mean, you can pass. You don't have to format your dates all the time when you're using Eloquent, right? I mean, am I crazy? I don't think you have to do that. I think you can just say where it's this date, right? I think so. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then we want to keep the request data. But if that's true, then we wouldn't want to do that. Let's go see if that's true real quick, and maybe that's where we'll end. Laravel.com. Let's do Eloquent dates, maybe. I don't want date casting, I don't think. I probably just want like Eloquent queries. Maybe not query scopes. Is there like a where in here? I'm just trying to see if there's a quick example where they use a date. Yeah, I think that would be more like the, I think that would be more in the builder section. I don't know if Eloquent does that or not. Does anyone in the chat know? I'm having a total, some brain fog here. It's one of those things you like never think about, which makes me think that's why it does handle it for you. And the test in our example application was fine. It passed with those where clauses. So to me, I would think Eloquent can handle a Carbon object and it just formats it for you accordingly. So I think ultimately what we care about here is we probably can't loop over request data anymore. This probably needs to be something like for each like variables or something is probably what that needs to be. Yeah, that's my guess. And then lower down, here we go. We definitely don't need to do this Carbon parse anymore here. But just to kind of hack this a little bit, also I want to use Illuminate support. Okay, so if not is no local model and local model has column and the column is date. So yeah, see, we don't need to do anything here anymore. The only one we would do something with is if data type is timestamp. That's the one we saw yesterday where we would need to do like timestamp. That's kind of the only kicker there. And I think going back up to what we were working, let's just put this back so this will run real quick. What was I looking for? I was looking for our change that we made earlier. If it's a date type, we would add this import. I think this does some uniques. Yeah, we're good. Okay, let's just kind of see what this looks like, and I'll end here. My expectation is that short of that query, we're pretty close. So we're now parsing our faker data into a Carbon object, so it's easier to use. We are then passing it across in a formatted way, which is needed for the UI of your application. I think that's the most kind of default thing to do. This probably doesn't hurt, but it's not exactly what I want. And then finally, if we go down to update, yeah, same thing. We don't want this request data here, and we are appending timestamp, but again, it's doing it on request data. So I think what needs to happen is we probably just need to have introduce a third thing, which is just the variable of what's being passed across in the request data. There needs to be request data and then like request data formatted. in a way. It's a little bit ugly, but maybe it's just the wrong place to do it. Maybe the place to do it is when I'm outputting this send command. That's probably actually what needs to happen, because that's what we're doing down here. We're doing it in the assert equals. I think that's what needs to happen. There you go. A little clarity in the stream. Let me check the comment. Sounds like, I'm not sure, but I format the date object every time, so the currently generated code is what I would write manually. Yeah, I'm going to check that off stream. I kind of agree with you. I'm going to look at kind of my own apps and see what I do. But I think we have a way through tomorrow to get this the rest of the way. So yeah, let's do that tomorrow. Let's format these on output. I don't think they need to be formatted as part of the request data and then used throughout. I think the request data, when that's getting output, should probably tack these on for dates only. That'll clean up the code as well. So we'll do that tomorrow. Thanks everybody for joining live. I'll double check on those eloquent dates.